Good afternoon. And thank you, Janine, and all of the workers that you represent. My father immigrated to this country from Malta, and every night my grandmother, when we were with him, would start a prayer before dinner. Bless the food we eat today. Bless the hands that made the food. Your hands, Janine, making the food. The hands that are building this airport, and the hands of all of the workers who make this place go, this airport and this community, deserve the respect, the thanks, and the support of the American people, and you certainly have the respect, the thanks, and the support of this administration. Thank you, Mayor Andre Dickens. Congratulations. You've got the city looking good. And I feel your mayor's pride in all the achievements of this community. I know how you are tackling so many of the greatest challenges that can come before a city and doing it so well. And we're glad to be a wind at your back from the Biden-Harris administration, helping you to get big things done. I want to thank Balram Bayadari B. The last time I was here, you put me in this contraption and lowered me into a tunnel under the ground that you explained to me you were blowing up piece by piece in order to get that train done. This time you showed me something I've never seen before in terms of this modular construction. So I know every time I come see you at Hartsfield, Jackson, you and your team are doing extraordinary things. Congratulations on this great work to you and your entire team. I want to thank Senator John Ossoff, who may be here later, and Senator Raphael Warnock, who couldn't be here, but who is, I know, excited about this, as well as your federal delegation, Nakima Williams, whose district we were in, Representative Hank Johnson, who I spoke to yesterday about this project, and so many others. It is no exaggeration to say that we are here because of their support, not just their belief in this project and the related projects, but the fact that they believed in this infrastructure package when everybody in Washington was scoffing at the president's idea that you could do this or anything on a bipartisan basis. But they saw it through, and we are so thankful for their support. Thank you, Wayne Wadsworth, and the entire business community that you represent for your extraordinary work and innovative work, helping make this happen, and your commitment to partnering with businesses that exemplify the inclusion that really distinguishes Atlanta's business community. To all of the construction and engineering teams, and last but certainly not least, everyone in the public sector here, the local officials who are here, and federal officials from our own department. Our Deputy Secretary, Polly Trottenberg, is here, and it is very rare for her and me to be in the same place. Usually we're spreading out across the country in some way. But to have her and the Acting Undersecretary and so many others here really is a credit, Mayor, to all the stuff you've got going on here this week and every week. And it's been a very good week for American transportation. On Monday, we were breaking ground on the first high-speed rail that will serve Americans in this decade, going from Las Vegas to Southern California. Yesterday, we launched a new rule that will make sure that airline passengers have more confidence in the tickets they are buying every time they book a flight, either here out of Hartsfield, Jackson, or anywhere in the country. And today, here we are celebrating a major milestone in the construction of the new Concourse D. You know, for a long time, people were lamenting the condition of America's airports. And now we're seeing the reverse, that we have the best and most innovative style of construction to deliver world-class terminals to the busiest airport in the world, those like it. Because Concourse D was built for a different time, the 1980s. A lot of good things came out of the 1980s. But those of us who came out of the 1980s are showing our age a little bit. And so was that concourse. It's different in 2024. The volume of passengers, the size of the jets serving this airport. I didn't get a chance to be here one morning the other night as you moved that module, but I saw that video. We all have. And what an extraordinary feat of engineering it is to get that right. It reminds us not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it. It's extraordinarily impressive. And it's proof of what we can accomplish in just a few short years when we have airport leadership and local leadership, like the mayor and the members of the House and Senate, and all of those who believe in working alongside our president to make infrastructure a top priority. We're done with declaring infrastructure weeks and letting them come and go without any results. Now we are making sure this is an infrastructure decade. The advocates and the leaders here were clear that this airport needed major updates, and we heard as part of the larger flow of federal funding to this airport, we awarded $40 million through President Biden's infrastructure law, and you got to work with this innovative technology, building the modular units here, figuring out how to move them in the middle of the night, engaging union labor as represented here today to do it right. And doing it without that traffic, that air traffic or foot traffic skipping a beat. It's an extraordinary thing that moves you one step closer to that modernized concourse that will accommodate the volume of passengers who travel through here. Well, there's enough space to get through with your luggage. It's more accessible to passengers with disabilities, one where you're more likely to actually find a seat to be able to relax before your flight. I am excited about this, not just as a policymaker, but as a passenger who is a frequent user of America's aviation systems. This is a big deal, that extra 30 feet of width, so you don't have to zigzag around other passengers to get to your gate. The 1,000 more seats, that'll be more comfortable spots to wait for your flight. New restrooms, double their previous size, which also matters a lot to me as a toddler parent who knows just how important it is to be able to maneuver around it. And with that new concourse, the gates that'll better be able to accommodate a modern fleet of bigger aircraft that are coming and going every day. These upgrades also mean more opportunities for good-paying jobs for everyone here. You know, I've spoken in the past, ever since I became secretary, and even back when I was running for president, because this model is known nationwide, starting in the mid-1970s when Mayor Maynard Jackson saw to it the construction of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport didn't just build an airport, it built livelihoods, it built businesses, and it's part of what built the strong black middle class that Atlanta is famous for. And it was so moving before we came for this tour to spend some time with some of the business leaders who are part of these businesses now in a second generation and preparing for a third. As part of why we just announced the final rule to update our DBE and airport concession DBE programs, modernize it, cut through red tape so businesses can maximize their potential and federally funded projects can tap into a greater network of talent. Concourse B is generating hundreds of good-paying construction jobs and supporting millions of people in this region. Businesses here are already part of this local job boom, and more space in the concourse means more businesses, including ACDBs, have more room, literally, to establish and grow their businesses. All over the country, we're making major upgrades to transportation and creating good-paying jobs through President Biden's infrastructure. There are hundreds of projects in the works just in this state alone. We awarded $150 million to make that long-anticipated project in Atlanta, The Stitch, possible. Reunite black communities torn apart by the way 75 and 85 were built. And in the neighborhoods around this airport, $50 million will contribute to connecting the Beltline to the Flint River Trail. Down in Millen, we delivered $12 million to create safer rail crossings. Up in Cedartown, we awarded a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant, making that community safer for drivers and pedestrians, and that's just a small selection. Every time I come back to Georgia, I see more examples of the progress underway and the extraordinary work we are accomplishing together. I saw the Atlanta Journal-Constitution covered that move of that module as being like connecting toy building blocks. So I'm already thinking about how I can explain this project to our 2.5-year-old twins, because I think they might actually appreciate this one. These building blocks are the building blocks of a lot more than an airport. They're the building blocks of the future of aviation, making air travel safer and easier and more comfortable for millions of people and connecting people up on their trips, whether it's a Monday morning commute or the trip of a lifetime. I just want to end with the reflection of the backdrop that we have, including the sound of an airplane taking off every 30 seconds or so. It's an amazing thing. It's actually an amazing thing that we're not constantly amazed by it. Every few seconds, a metal object full of people the size of a building rolls down a runway and soars off into the sky. That's not just a neat piece of technology, it is a civilizational achievement. And you are the stewards of that achievement, and you are guiding its potential deep into the 21st century. Congratulations, and I'm thrilled to be able to celebrate this with you. With that, I believe in the opportunity to take a few questions from reporters. My colleague Alexander will quarterback that process. AC, over to you.
Zach Nancy, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Given that this concourse expansion is addressing the long-time chokeholds that we have here in Atlanta, will there be a greater federal focus going forward on addressing other chokeholds here in Atlanta and other airports around the country?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these pinch points, whether it's in the concourse itself or in security areas that were often built and configured pre-9/11 and have had to have a new system grafted onto them. So we're seeing cases like this, ideas like this, and applications for projects like this come in. Part of what we're watching closely here is not just the results, but again, how you're doing it. Because if more places can demonstrate creativity like this modular approach, that means our federal dollars are likely to be stretched further and to make more of a difference in more places. Yeah, one of the things we're proudest of in the infrastructure package is that it has, in addition to the airport and aviation support, the largest federal investment in transit in U.S. history. And that's certainly benefiting MARTA, including the project around the 5 points, which I know has needed work for a long time. And I would be shocked if we didn't see more ideas and applications come in from MARTA going into the future, because transit is only going to be more important for economic growth, for affordable transportation, even for climate, and it's certainly part of the answer on the housing pressure that Atlanta and every metro area in the United States is seeing right now.
How critical was the $40 million from the infrastructure law? Was it actually critical to the infrastructure, or was it added bonus on top of the funding that was already available?
Well, again, this is part of a larger flow of over $1 billion of federal funding coming to different projects and different pieces of this airport going forward. The $40 million, we think, made it possible to accelerate and advance this project, but certainly came alongside major contributions from Delta Airlines and other entities all teaming up. And again, it's that public-private, state, federal, local partnership that really makes big things like this possible. Thanks again. So excited to be with you. Congratulations, and make sure to invite you to the ribbon cutting when it's all done. Thank you.